Today we will be covering a few stances because it's Technical Tuesday. And just well, if there's any questions, please let us know by the chat. And let me go over to well, across the pond right now, over to Darren.
Hey, yeah. Obviously, it's the first one. We actually forgot to talk about what we were doing until today because plenty of weeks ago we were obviously in the same boat without She Engineering. So we was all a little like, oh, we need to maybe think about what we're doing today because She Engineering won't be taking it. So yes, today we're going to focus on stances. So we're going to basically run through the basics of them, the dimensions, how we move, mainly for probably some of the lower grade, some typical techniques and basics that we will do with these stances, and then of course, as usual, we're going to be converting them into some typical ways that we can use them in fighting. Okay, so any questions about any of it, let us know in the chat as per usual. So I'm going to start us off, and that's about it. And it's baking hot here; it's 36 degrees. So yeah, let's have a good one, but stay hydrated, guys, because it's very hot out in a lot of places today. So let me just adjust the screen. Okay, right. So I'm going to be starting off with Zenku Sudachi. So first and foremost, let's go through the dimensions. Zenku Sudachi is, as we all know, shoulder width apart. It is 2 shoulders and half a foot in length, with a weight distribution of 60% on the front leg, 40% on the back leg. Okay, the back leg is perfectly straight. The front knee needs to be bent over at least the ankle stroke instep. Okay, so well documented that you shouldn't be able to see much of your foot, if any, over the front knee. So if you can see all of your foot, your knee isn't bent enough. If you can see none of your foot like this, you're probably too bent. So you just want to be probably able to see the tips of your toes in your Zenku Sudachi. Front foot, pretty obvious for many, is pointing straight forward. Back foot is at 45 degrees. Okay, as we all know, we need to pivot in, slide forward in the stance. Okay, right. So I think we're all okay with that. But again, if there are any questions on any of these dimensions, etc., because maybe you've been told something different, do let us know, and we can go through them in a little bit more detail. Okay. What we're going to be doing is we're going to do 20 techniques with one leg forward, 20 techniques with the other leg forward. Then I'm going to give you a combination, exercises, and we're going to flip over to Wes after that. And he's going to do one as well. Okay, so we're going to see how also that the stances link together. So some of them are linked with a simple twist, etc. Or change from one stance into another stance, and then you can start to get a feel and appreciation on how similar dimensions are for each of those stances. Okay, right. Well, let's get started. Fudachi, Magen and Barai. Hey, Shia. Okay, so we're in Zenku Sudachi. Is a forward-leaning stance because we have 60% of weight on our front leg. Okay, so we're going to keep this very simple to start off with, and we're just going to be doing Judan skis. What we're going to do though is we're going to do oitsuki only, so we need to position, drive in. Okay, remember that our hips need to be pointing fairly straight forward, and most of the time it's going to be the shoulders that are doing most of the moving. Okay. With the knee, the front knee, a very common mistake is that we lag it in here. We need to push this out and make sure it's over the knee, so we're developing the outside muscle. Okay, lots and lots and lots of people is they relax it here. Like, yeah, my leg's bent. Yes, your leg is bent, but what happens when you get kicked here? This happens. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're pushing out and we're resisting that impact all the time, much like we will do in a fighting stance. Okay, right. So let's get started. Left hand out for Chuden ski, and we're doing 20 on the left hand. Make sure we drive in, easy going, because we're not warm yet, although we probably are, to be fair. Okay, ready? H, Ni, Sen, Shi, Ash, ash, hit, G. Okay, come up, change legs, and oitski out. Okay, remember, let's push that knee out in position. We should have a nice long stance, like so, in position. Okay, here, shoulder, hip, nice straight line in all of our stances. 1 degree forward, making sure the ball's buffing. Okay, right arm out. Ready? H, knee, sun, chi, go, right, H, H, hit, G, H, knee, sun, chi, go, right, H, H, hit, G. And now we're ready. Up we come. My internet is on my screen. Looks like it's playing up today. So if I break out at all, it's not my fault. It is probably because my computer's trying to work in 1,000 degrees. Okay? Right. So basic applications for the stance. Think is just actually forward leaning stance. Now, I personally fight in this way probably most of the time. Not all the time, but that's how my kind of stance makeup is. I tend to have a little bit more weight on the front leg as I'm ready to drive forward nice and quickly, okay? Or try to be nice and quick, okay? So we're going to use this basically in a stance. Now, obviously in Zenku Sudachi, we move with the back leg forward, shooting in, but in a fighting stance, we can either go forward this way or we can go forward this way. Right, so we're going to kind of combine both of them easily. We're going to push forward, so as we take the length of the stance a little bit longer, 60% here, 40% here, drive through with a more to get at. Again, it's Technical Tuesday, so we don't have to go nuts on this, but do really try to focus on a good position, a good technique, and let's try to really feel that that weight is going forward. Am I still there? Because my screen has gone.
You are still there. You're a little bit, when you speak, I hear it, that the connection isn't very good. I don't know if the rest has the same problem with you. I see Jay saying yes.
Yeah, I think it's my computer going nuts. Right, so let me do the count on this one. It's back. It seems to be back now, but I might have to log off, shut my computer down, and come back while Wesley does his. Okay. So we're there, pushing forward with the oitski, driving through the Gidamawashi. So we take a slightly longer stance. Not straight like in Zen, but a good bend, push through, get out washi. Okay, we've got 10 on the left, change legs, 10 on the right, a little exercise, and then we'll go over to Wes where I can restart my computer and hopefully join us very shortly after that. Okay, ready? Let's go. Edge. E. Sun. She, go, and change legs. Don't forget. Always keep the body weight going forward. Don't lean back when we do any of the techniques. Okay? Let's go. Other leg. Ready? Stand. She. Go. Chia. Good. And what we're going to do, we're just going to do some squats. But what we're going to do is looking at pushing our knees forward as we do them. So Wesley's done kind of these movements before. What we're going to do is push them forward here and back up. Push them forward here, stimulating the push forward on the Chusokus in your Zenkutsudachi. Okay, nice and easy. 20, 2-0.
Yes.
Okay. H, E, San, Shi, Go, Ruk, H, H, K, G, H, E, San, Shi, Go, Ruk, H, H, K, G. Good. So a quick drink, because if you're anything like me, it's boiling hot. And we're going to go over to Wesley, where I can restart my computer, hopefully get a better connection, and he can take us through some bits whilst I do that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll do a combination on the Zenkutsudachi as well, and then I'll go to... Us?
Yeah, no worries. Cool.
A little bit of time, Stringer.
Yeah, no worries, man. Cheers, man.
Right, man. So, guys, Zenkutsudachi is probably one of the most common used stances within Kyokushin and within all the katas we do. So let's go very basic as we just did with Darren. Just went forward. What you really do when you go forward. So let's go really basic. We keep the legs fairly close, and we think of it as a close combat fight. So when we are close to our opponent, what we're now going to do is we're going to step back into Zenkutsudachi kind of thing. Step back into Zenkutsudachi, Gyakusuki. So what we're just going to do is we're going to block and go forward in a longer position. Also, I want you to do after this is 1, 2, step away, outside low kick, and bring the low kick to the back of the leg. Also to hit the hamstrings. We're just going to do this 10-10 exercise, and then we'll go to the next stance. Right. So we're over here, close combat, and on the count 1, 2, and to the outside. 10-10. There we go. Come on, take. And itch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Shish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Shash. Aisha. Mawate. Good. And ish. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rock. Shish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Shia. Aisha. Good. All right. And an exercise. It's going to be a leg exercise again. What we'll do is we will put the feet into Musubidachi. We're going to go 45 degrees forward into Zenkutsudachi, twist in, back, and back again. 45 degrees, 1, 2, and back again. All right, we just do 10. Us. Let's start off. First one on the right. And itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Cool. Last one, people. Shia. And now it goes. It's about the twist as well. Us. Right then, guys, get yourself a quick drink. Then we'll go over to the next stance. Us. It's very quiet in here if I'm the only one talking. And he's back again. Haven't got him on screen yet, but he's back. All right then. So the next stance we will use is also a very common stance, a little bit harder, especially if you have to do it for a long time. Also, what we're going to do is Kibidachi, and let me first go through the dimensions as Darren just did with us, and then we will do 20 20 exercises on one side, 20 exercises on the other side, and then we will do a fighting combination. Us. Let me check because I hear Darren. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're back again. Can everybody, just to check, can everybody see him now? You can see yourself? Yes, that's good, buddy. Combination, Darren, that's it.
Just no worries. Cool. Cheers, man.
Right then. So, most important for when we do Kibidachi, it's 2 shoulder widths apart. Us. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Us. So and especially if you've got some longer legs like I do, it's a hard stance to do it properly because smaller people with smaller legs can do it easier 90 degrees. Us, and that's what we kind of look for. We kind of look for an angle of 90 degrees on the legs. Us. So all of the power, let me do a little bit of Maxim Dedic over here. The legend himself, Matt Max, loves to wear his trousers like this. So when we do Kibidachi, us, most important thing is that what the power is on the side of the feet. Us. So when we go there, it's nearly looking for a 90-degree angle. Us. So what we do over here is we put most of the pressure on there and try to bring the knees to the outside. Us. A lot of bad Kibidachis look like this. It's the pressure of the feet on the inside and the knees to the inside as well. Us. Especially if you look at like Japanese organizations, I'm not going to say they have a bad Kibidachi. It's definitely not what I'm saying, but they have a little bit more focus on a very low stance instead of a very outstretched stance. Us. And this is what I've been told, and this is what I've been teaching in the IFK. 2 shoulder widths apart, knees to the outside, and if you look at that, it's like this. What the biggest problem is when we do this is the arch of the upper body. Us. The upper body is when we are in a proper Kibidachi, people tend to go forward a little bit. Us, because they really try to bring the knees out, so the body comes forward. This is a very common mistake, and you don't want to see that on your students or on yourself. Us. So what you try to do is when you bring the knees outside, your hips need to come a little bit forward. Chest will be forward as well, and your shoulder is in the same line as your hips are. Us. And they try to force it down. So when you are over there, your body structure is correct as well. Us. Very important. Us. Good. Hopefully this is a little bit clear. Us. Good. All right. So what we're just gonna do, and this is something that's not happening enough as well. You're going to focus on the twisting, also, especially if you look at a 8th Q syllabus, 7th Q syllabus. When you go into pin and knee over there, you need to twist your body and be in a good position. Also, so what we're going to do over here is we're just going to stand over here, enjoy that sheet. You're just going forward and make Yonsuki into the camera. Also, and what is important is I go into Nekwa Chidachi, go forward into, well, Zenko Tsudachi, but then not with the feet on the floor, and twist myself in to a right Kibidachi in a straight line. Also, you don't want to be here or there because then you're not in a straight line. Also, we do 20 on this side. No, sorry, 10 on this side, 10 on the other side. Also, so I can give you another exercise. Are we clear on this? Good. Good. Enjoy. And 10 on the right. There we go. Ish. And come back. Knee. And come back. Sun. And come back. Chi. And come back. Go. And come back. Rook. And come back. Sish. And come back. Ash. And come back. Ku. And come back. Shia. And now ready. Other side. Use the left leg right now. Us. Try to be, when you go down, 1, 2, bam. And both of the legs are equally, the weight is equal. Us, the weight is in the middle. Us, don't be on one side more. Us, there we go. You wait. And itch. And back. Knee. And back. Sun. And back. She. And back. Go. And back. Rook. And back. Sish. And back. Ash. Ku. Shia. And now ready. Us. Right then. So what we're going to do right now is the last exercise for a good Kibidachi in a straight line and in a 45-degree line, so a Yonshuho line. Us. We're going to stick to the same thing. So on the count, we'll just do this 5 times right now. On the count, we will go 1, and then step aside and bring your other arm into like a 45-degree punch, uppercut. Us. So one more time, go forward, right arm, step away, left arm. Us. Good. 5 times on this leg, 5 times on the other leg. Us. So when we're over here, don't come up like this. 1, twist, 3. Us. Really use straight lines. There we go. Joy dash, joy. And there we go. Ish. Knee. And knee. Sun. Chi. Go. And now ready. Other leg. 1, 2, 3. Us. Here we go. 5 times. Then we'll go to combination. Us. Run. Ish. Knee. Sun. Chi. Last one. Go. And now ready. All right. So let's go for a combination. Us. What I'm just going to do right now, standing there, left leg forward. It's going to be 1, 2. I'm going to step out, twist in. Us. So I'm going to be 1, 2, step out, twist in. Us. Over here. Need to bring the body leg inside low kick. Over there, same leg. Us. So it's going to be left, right. 1, 2, and back in again. Us. Are we clear on this? Good. Come on, take.
Yeah.
Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Cool. Last one. Shia. Aisha. Mawate. Right. Other leg. 10 times. Exercise over to stringer. Us. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Fish. Cool. Last one. Shish. Isha. And Nare. Us. Good. All right. So the exercise we will do. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Us. We will stand in a Kibadachi. Us. What we do, start off with the left leg as the standing position. Us. Bring this and back. Us. We do 5 on the left, 5 on the right. Keep the bend and back again. Us. There we go. Come on, okay. And itch. Back. Knee. And back. Sun. Back. She. Back. And go. And back. Other side. Hantai. Itch. Back. Knee. Back. Sun. Back. She. And back. Last one. Go. And now ready. Grab yourself a quick drink. Over to super stringer. Us.
There's something wrong with my computer today. I lost the sound like for half of your presentation.
Oh, really? Oh, you didn't miss anything there.
I can understand by seeing, but sound not working. So the great thing about Kibadachi is it gives you great balance. If you've ever seen the way that Wesley fights, he has superb balance. And you can see that by the way he moves in Kibadachi, etc. He's always fairly well balanced, able to kick, do things off either leg. So, you know, there's pros and cons to every stance that we use, but definitely one of the benefits of being in a 50-50 stance all the time is that you can kind of throw techniques from either leg quite easily, okay? And of course he's talented, which helps as well. Not very talented, but a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So we're going to use the Kibadachi and that 50-50 weight distribution. We've done it quite a lot where we've moved on side-to-side planes. Okay, so we're going to use very, very similar motion to what Wesley has just done with his 1-2 step out and the Shtasky in position. What we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2. So we're going to step across where we take into a Kibadachi skip, and then we're going to do the same hand will be a Shtasky. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, hit, and then more shigiri around the side. Okay, bless you. All understand? In position, 1, 2, same hand, 3, 4. Okay, and remember, because we're aiming to be 50-50 weight distribution, we're trying not to do this. We're trying to be fairly equal so we can transition between one type of technique and the other fairly easily. Of course, movement, it will be for a split second. Even that is like when you move in Kibadachi, that there is a transition from one leg to the other. Okay? 10 on the right, 10 on the left, exercise, and then we're going over to back to myself for the next dance, should I say. Okay? Ready? Let's go. Each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sun. Sheep. Go. Rug. Push. Push. Go. 2. Yeah. And change legs, of course, exactly the same thing. Oi, sta, low. Okay? Let's go. Edge. Knee. Sun. Deep. Go. Up. Push. Push. Go. Two.
Aisha.
Yeah. Good, good. So we're going to use that exact same almost sideways movement, but we're going to stay low. And a very common problem in Kibadachi is people want to do this. Okay. That's just lazy because your muscles aren't fit enough, because you're not disciplined enough to stay low. But what we're trying to do is stay in that same level all the time throughout the transition. Okay? So, start of Wes was here, very similar. We're just going to come across, make sure we keep a really good bend, out, in, out, making sure that my head is approximately the same height all the time. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, just 10. Okay? Yeah, good, good, good. Let's go. Ready? Stay nice and low. Try and mimic the Kibadachi, not a high one because this is easy. Yeah, let's stay nice and low, as Wesley was saying. Try to look for approximately a 90-degree angle. Maximum you should be is a couple of inches above your kneecaps. Okay, maximum. Okay, let's go. Ready? Inch, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, ish, ach, get, cheer. And remember, ears, shoulders, hips. Get yourself a drink, and then you'll be back with me for the next stance.
Nice.
Take on plenty of water today, guys. Or do you want to go now, Wes?
I know it's you now.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. It's the same as what happened with the Zenku today. You started off with Zenku combination, then I did a combination, started off with Kiba combination, you did a combination, now over to the next stance.
Yeah, I missed that bit out.
Yeah, everybody knows why, because you're very lazy.
I know, just non-committal me. Okay, a quick thing between the link between the two stances. So Zenku Sudachi, 2 shoulders, half a foot in length. If we twist the feet, we now lose this length on the stance, and we're in approximately where our Kibadachi should be. Okay, so when we're doing all of these techniques here, really you can just twist, get that extra 6 inches on the stance, and move into Kibadachi. Now we're moving on to Sanshindachi. Sorry. Yeah. I am Sanshindachi.
Yeah,
Sanshindachi. Sanshindachi. So again, this is a 50-50 weight distribution in stances. Okay, let's show you my feet. The toes are your shoulders. Okay, what lots of people tend to do is they come into the position and then they end up like this. It's your toes which are your shoulders. So the heels should be fitting outside your shoulders. Okay? Yes. So Sanshin is called like a 3-point stance or 3 battles, depending on where you read or etc. Okay? So as we come in, as we all know, it comes to the other foot, out, and in front. We're looking for toe and heel to be in line. You can have the maximum of a belt width between the toe and the heel length. Okay, so if you need a bit of stability, make sure we go a little bit longer in position, and like so. Let me see if I can help you out on the angles as well. Now, what happens more often than not, myself included, is that we have a very stiff back ankle and a really supple front angle. And then you end up getting your lines crossing about here. But my body is facing towards you. What we want to do is the apex of this stance should, just help you out a second, a little bit more with a belt. If we were to put our hands out into Chudan ski and let the belt drop, this is where our apex of our stance should meet. Okay, so that means we have an equal angle on both feet. Okay, and it very often, more than not, everybody's back foot is not the same angle. Okay, so we need to make sure that we force this round, and the way we maintain that is to keep the bend on the legs. Now, in the old times, they were like, yeah, bring your knees right together because you're stopping someone kicking you in the gonads. Let's face it, A, it's bad for your knees, and B, you're never going to block someone like that. Okay, yes, we want the knees coming in, and we want this. And the reason for that is that the knees come in to drop the weight on the front of the feet. Okay, if we go straight feet, then we start doing this, like we can do in other stances. Okay, but it's a little bit harder in other stances because you've always got a really good bend on at least one of the legs. Even if you're a bit lazy in the Kibadachi, you've normally got a reasonable bend. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have our angles, and that if we are at our plumb line, where it should drop exactly down where the angle should meet. Okay, obviously when we're walking forward, we don't need to move this front leg at all. It stays in position, comes round, circle, up, around, and circle. Loads of people, they tend to do this and swing through. All the time in all of these stances, we should be in contact with the mat, okay, with the Chusoku. Everybody understand the basic principles, I'm sure. But of course, if there's any questions, please do let me know. Okay, so with that in mind, let's start doing some techniques and moving on. Okay, so Urudachi, Sanshindachi, yoink! Right leg going forward. Kamate, Shia! Good. Remember, angle on the feet, Drop the knees in, and most importantly, let's not kink this pelvis out. Let's pull it in nice. You see loads of people go and pull this tight at the last minute. You shouldn't have to do that. It should be tight from the moment that we walk in to position. Tight, tight, good structure, okay? Right, so we're going to use Aguchi, which is a very common technique because we use it in 9th Q in exactly this stance, okay? So, be strict. You can see yourself in the screen. Make sure our angles are good. I have quite stiff ankles, so this tends to happen. I have to really work to make sure this is in position. My toes are my shoulders, not the inside of my shoulders, the outer, so the heels are a little bit out for a good stability, okay? So we're gonna do 20 alternate because it's a fairly flat stance, and then we're gonna move on to some fighting combinations, okay? Right, let's go. Ready, arms up, Aguchi, starting with the right arm first, making sure center line, let's not punch on a straight line where the shoulders is. Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, go, rock, ish, ish, here, chi, ish, 2, 3, 4, go, rock, ish, ish, here, chi, and now right. We're just going to go forward with the other leg and do 20 on the other hand, okay? So, Hidari Sanchindachi, yay! Left leg forward. Kate, Shia, and both arms. Okay, starting with the left arm this time. Ready? H, knee, sun, she, go, rock, H, H, get, chi, H, knee, sun, she, go, rock, H, H, get, Shia. And now ready. Okay, just relax and loosen. There, a lot of fighters mimic this stance. Eastern Europeans, very few Japanese fighters do as well because they like the compactness of the stance. They really like the fact that the knees drop in so it stops your balance being moved for inside low kicks, for example. Okay. As I mentioned earlier on, though, with the Zenku Sadachi, because this is dropped in, there is the danger that if someone comes quite far round, that we can start getting some movement when we do the low kick. But most fighters that adopt this stance are really well prepared for it because they know these kind of stuff. Okay. So, for example, Shian Midori, he fights this way. He actually specifically says that your fighting stance should be approximately like Sanshindachi, just a fraction longer with the front foot just angled in nice and easy. Okay, and then you can throw techniques like this. A couple of Russian fighters do it this way as well, but, you know, each to their own. There's benefits and hindrances, okay? So, we're not going to obviously have the feet here. So we're going to adopt more of a Moro Ashidachi, which is very, very similar. If you want to adopt Midori's style and have the front knee slightly kinked in with the stance, then by all means have that. But definitely, nobody has their back foot like this. This is really hard to move quickly. Okay, they tend to be here, short stance, and they tend to do really short, efficient-based techniques like so. Okay, so we're going to do some short and efficient-based techniques. Now, there's a few ways that you can do more shigeris. If you take it in the way that we were doing it earlier, it's quite a round technique, but not all the way round like this, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to do a up shorter version of a Mawashigeri. Now, most people, I definitely throw this when I do inside low kicks because I like to avoid the knees, especially if someone's standing in this tighter stance. We don't want to be coming too far around. We want to be cutting up. But we're actually going to cut to the person's outside leg. Okay, so we're going to be in said stance. There, 1, 2, up, and then we can pull back nice and easy because it's a very short stance. we can really adapt into a lot of techniques. Whereas if we fight in Kibadachi, not that Wesley does, but he's definitely more neutral based than I am. The likes of Roger Gabor, for example, I'd say he's kind of a Kibadachi based. Because they're very good, they're able to throw techniques. If you don't have natural flexibility in technique, very difficult. If you're limited in technique, not that any great fighters are, to be fair, but Sanshin Dachi is probably a very good place for you to start. You start learning to understand your balance, you start learning to throw some techniques, and it's not too difficult to start throwing multiple techniques from this position, okay? So, over, under, short technique, up more. Don't have to worry too much about lots and lots of rotation on the knee, just a little rotation, okay? Good? Okay. 10 on the left, 10 on the right, little exercise, and then we're going over to Wonder Wes, where he can dazzle us with his very nice balance that he possesses, okay? Let's go. Ready? Edge. Knee. Remember, still pushing off the ball of the foot. Hand. He. Oh. Hand. Edge. Edge. Head. Heel. Shia. And change legs. Okay, remember, keep the stance fairly short in length. Try and straighten my length in my feet. It's quite difficult for me. I'm never normally this short, even though I have really short legs. Okay, ready? Edge. Knee. Hand. Knee. Oh. Hand. Edge. Edge. Head. Shia. Shia. Good, good. Okay. You can probably start to really feel your balance and your position is fairly stable because your feet are fairly close together. It's easy to not overcommit on either leg. That's the really big advantage to this stance. The disadvantage is obviously you don't move very far when you're doing this. Okay, right. We're going to be in this position. We're going to twist, squat, down. Twist, squat, down. Okay.
This is the exact exercise I had in mind.
Yes, I got in there first for once. Yeah, boom. It's always Wesley that goes first and steals everything. Okay, so we're going to do this, and it's very, very, very similar, if not exact, where the length or width of your stance should be. Okay, so without stealing Wesley's thunder too much, let's do 10 of these. Okay, alternate legs, so it makes you twist round each time and utilize this position. Okay, not bothered which side you go first, we're doing 10 anyway. Ready? Edge, knee, sun, she, keep upright, go, upright, rook, don't lean forward, shish, ach, good, shia. Yourself a quick drink while Wesley thinks of another exercise after his combination. Good work, guys. Everyone okay so far, we hope? Yes? Everything making sense? No surprises, hopefully, for anybody? Just reconfirming what you already know and potentially visualizing it in a different way with the fighting stances, okay?
Us.
Good work. Sorry, Wes.
Nah, it's okay. I've stolen a few of you already.
Yeah, it's true.
All right then, guys. As Darren said, this is the shorter stance. It's like the sanctioned actually is actually like a stance they use a lot in boxing. Also, because from that stance, and if you really use your upper body in a proper way, you can get a lot of advantage out of that. And that's a lot of things us karateka's don't really tend to do as much, using the upper body apart from the lowest part of the body. So that's something that's very helpful. Also, when you fight, like most of the time, an Eastern European fighter, or indeed some of the Japs, they have the shorter stance and they have a lot of punching power. Also, that's a very big advantage for them. And there's not a lot you can do about this except for really taking away the lowest part of their legs. As Darren said, they're quite short in their stance, and they are really prepared on getting doing the blocking, or really catching a low kick and try to punch under there. What they can't really react on, like this is not a 100% fit, but they can't really react on when you go low to the lowest part of the leg, because that really breaks away their structure, like this, and this is the moment you can try and catch them out, and this is exactly what I did once, and this is the combination we're going to use. So what I did was an inside low kick to the calf. So I did it to the calf, stepped away, a Stasky, and again over here, Stasky, I really twisted in the body with a punch to the chest, and went up with an Uchimawashi. So I just go in very low, 1, 2, Uchimawashi. Because at this time, the left will be a little bit lower, catch them a bit on the body, open it up, and this is what happens. So this side, you can get your leg in between and really knock them out. It's been a very successful combination for me. Hopefully, after this session, this might be a successful combination for you as well. And exercise, and then over to me again for, which is probably going to be the last stance time wise. And itch, knee, sun, she, go, rock, itch, ash, go. Last one, people. Yeah. Malate, other side.
Push.
Remember, low, just on the calf. Us, low, break the stance. Low, outside. Left Stasky, right over. Left Uchimawashi Gyuri. Us, there we go. Come on, take. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Fish. Ash. Go. Last one. Shit. Shit. And all right. Last thing I'm saying about this is when we do the punch outside, don't go too wide on the stance. Because the moment I go wide on the stance, And if I try maybe when you fight, like when you fight an opponent like Darren, as soon as you go wide, and if you go too wide, you will be catched on the inside as well. So what I'm trying to do, so try to be in a sort of Sanshin-dachi position. One, from here, I twist in, and then I can use the leg to finish it off. Exercise. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be in a right Moro Ashidashi Sanshin-dachi position. So what I'm gonna do right now, gonna bring my leg to the floor, up and over there, back again. Leg to the floor, up, and from this, up again. It seems like a pretty easy exercise, but what you do, you really use the smaller muscles within the leg as well. So when you go up, you try not to use your back leg. Let's do this 5 times on the right, 5 times on the left. There we go. Kamaite. And itch. Up and good. Knee. Up. And that's it. Sun. 1, 2. Up. And good. She. 1. Up. And that's it. Go. 1, 2. Up. And other side. Mawate. And done. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Last one. Go. Yeah. Very good. Quick little drink. Over to the last stance. Everybody okay? Good?
Yeah, hot, but I'm okay. Imagine if it was Thunder Thursday today, guys. Woo!
Oh. Apparently it's going to be Thunder Thursday this Thursday. It's going to be thunder.
Oh, I didn't tell you, did I? Nerea's house in Spain has got struck by lightning today.
Oh, wait. When did that happen?
Today.
Well, wait.
So it's been raining so much over the last 2 days that they've had to empty the swimming pool out. They've had like thunderstorms and lightning.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it hit the antenna, fried everything in the house, electrical wise, and left a really burning smell in the top floor.
Wow.
Apparently some guy, I've not read the message, but some guy got struck by lightning in his garden as well.
Okay,
In a different garden, not the same garden.
Everybody okay over there?
Yeah, they're okay. It's just the house, the boiler, the TV, the electrics is all gone. So, yeah. Speaking of thunderstorms, maybe we're going to get some similar things like that. You know, because
what happens? That's what happens on the screen every week on Thunder Thursday.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Right then. So, last stance we will work on now is Kokotsudachi. And when we were in Sanshin-dachi, all we kind of do is twist the back leg into, well, nearly 45 degrees, and the front leg as well. What we now do is we stand in a, well, more Ashidashi. Mine's always a little bit wider because my legs are very tall. Right? What we do right now is we just pick up the heel just one fingertip off the floor. Not like Ashidashi all the way there, just one fingertip over there. What you do right now is you bring the knees forward. One back, one forward. Is trying to, like the exercise we did with Darren, the first exercise, you just bring the knees over there, and if you look at it from the front, you got 2 fists in between the knees. What a lot of people tend to do is bring too much weight on the back leg. So this means the kokotsudachi will look like this. Os, it's 70 on the right, on the back leg, 30 on the front leg, but also the weight is going down. Os in a center. Center. Os, not just on the back leg or not just on the front leg. Os. So this, when we stand into kokotsudachi, this is where we are. Os. Also, again, your hips are turned, but this doesn't mean that my body goes forward as well. Os. It's not it doesn't feel right, and it looks stupid as well. Os. Think of bringing your shoulders and your chest all the way down in a center line. Os, chest is forward, shoulders is backwards a little bit, and now you are in a proper kokotsudachi. Os, so and this is not always like 100% fit, and it's not a one size fits all. But in most of the cases, when we go there, when you twist it in, os, the wideness of your stance is quite good. Os, you can say, if you go a little bit further, especially if you look outside of the IFK, kokotsudachis are a little bit bigger as well. Os, like a Japanese kokotsudachi, they try to be a little bit wider. Within IFK, it's like this. I'm not saying anything wrong there, right, Darren?
No, that's right. But what you do tend to see in the other organisations is, because of that length of leg, if you see the way that Wesley is delivering the kokotsudachi, if you go back there again, sorry, Wes, you'll see he's got a really good bend on this front leg, on the front knee. You can see that it's over, whereas the longer you go out, like the other styles, it's really tough to maintain the strength on that front leg. And I always tell people, you have to be willing to get hit on that front leg to appreciate that if you're in the right position. Loads of people, common mistake is to straighten that right leg, because as Wesley said, they kink the bum out too much and then lean forward, and then it counteracts straightening that back leg, that front leg. But yeah, everything else is spot on, as Wesley said.
Right then, so we'll do an exercise right now, and the exercise is actually is to keep the focus on the right way of using this. So we've all done arm techniques. Now we're just going to do a kicking technique. And we're going to use the front leg maigiri, and you bring it back in the same position all the time. We'll do 15 on the left, 15 on the right. We good? Right, you're left, right? Very good. Go forward into kokotsudachi. Doesn't really matter. I'm right leg in front right now. So keep your hands on your reverse. Just put them over there, so you can really focus on the kick. So you don't have to use your arms. One, back. And every time I want you to get back in the right position. And there we go. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, shish, ash, go, shia, ish, ni, san, shi, go, shia. Take loose. Other side, guys. So left leg in front. All right, then there we go. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, dish, ash, go, yeah, ish, ni, san, shi, go. Yeah. And now ready. Take loose. Good. So, fighting combination by me. One more fighting combination by Darren. And a little bit of speech. Time-wise, very quickly. Good. All right then. So, as Darren said already, and he's much the same. Our fighting stance is a little bit bigger. My fighting stance is a little bit more 50-50. Darren's fighting stance is a little bit more 60-40, maybe even in sometimes 70-30. Us, we're just gonna bring it a little bit smaller. And this is where we do the 70-30 now. Us, so I'm gonna be standing, I'm gonna be focusing on going 70-30. Us, the combination we try to do right now is, let me show myself correctly. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to step forward, back, forward again. Us. This, I'll go back again and I use my right leg. So it's a little bit uncommon, but this really makes you think 1, 2, 3. Us. Really makes you think of going back to the back leg. Us. And now you have to use your upper body as well. Us. This is something different for, I think, at least 70% of the karateka's, especially karateka's from an older age. Us never been taught to use their upper body separate from their lower body. Us. One more time. Stand over here. Left, right, back, low kick. Us. And the low kick is an outside low kick, and you can really drop it in there because afterwards you normally go on. Us. But we'll keep it simple. Us. Come on, kick. 10 times. And itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Look. Tish. Ash. Go. Last one, people. Share. Aisha. Namate, other side. Then right leg in front. Us. And ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rook. Stitch. Ash. Go. Last one, people. Shash. Aisha. Good. All right. Exercise. What we're going to do is we're going to jump off one leg. Us. So I'm going to be standing over here. I'm going to jump off and go forward again. I'm going to jump off and forward again. Us. 5 on the right, 5 on the left. Over the super stringer. Us. Right there. And itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Yeah. Okay, on the side. And itch. Knee. Sun. She. Last one. Go. Yeah. Good. Quick little drink. Push. Stringer. Us. Well done, guys. Very proud of you.
Everyone else really warm? Okay, so we've done the warm up. Let's get working now. No, last one. Okay, so as Wes did in his techniques with my gears off the front leg, being in the Kokosudachi position allows you to kick really easily off the front leg. So people like Matsui Midori did this really, really good. Francisco Filio as well, awesome off the front leg, and they were really, really effective in catching people. So what normally happened is they would wait for them to come forward, they react, do something. So that's what we're going to do today, okay, as our last combination.
Yeah, I think Darren Matsui was. If you look at the 100 fights of Matsui, he was nearly like 80 of the fights. He was standing in a kokotsudachi and really dropped them with the Jordan Mawashis. Indeed, just as you did right there. This is what Matsui did. Very effective.
This is what we're doing now.
Yes.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. The likes of Matsui and Filio was absolutely massive as well. So he had a really long reach as well. But they had exceptional timing. If you're going to play this game where you're on the back foot, you have to respond exceptionally well. Okay, Wesley does it really good because he has, like I said, a 50-50 weight distribution. As he's already said, I'm more 60-40, 70-30. Wes fluctuates between 50-50 and 60-40 maybe. Neither of us generally are on the back foot. Not because we can't, it's because it's just the way that we fight, to be fair. We all adopt a certain style. Okay, but the likes of Matsui, Midori, and Filio, most of them were really not the biggest of people, with Filio as the exception, really. Most bigger people, they tend to want to go forward. I guess that's why me and Wes went forward a lot. Okay, so we're going to be in a very similar position where we're going to have a little bit more weight on this back leg. Now, much like in Kokosudachi, just because we have the weight here doesn't mean that the power doesn't go in this direction. And this is a really hard thing for lots of people to do. You see beginners and low grades, they start off doing Kokosudachi and they either do one of two things. They either do this, because they're used to being in a Zenkusudachi, or they do this, because they think, oh yeah, I have loads of weight here. Yeah, as Wesley rightly said, the weight still needs to be in the middle, but we just need to be able to pick these legs up still from either point of view. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold the weight on the back leg a little bit. We're going to deliver a shasaki and then a Mawashigiri Jordan. It's nice and easy to pick up. Don't forget, we need to deliver the power here to drop the person's arms down for the likes of Matsui and Midori to capitalize. If we don't create spaces, we don't create knockouts unless it's exceptional timing. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. 10 on the left, change, 10 on the right, exercise, and then, hey presto, we're there. Okay? Very good session so far. Very, very hot. We'll see if we can have a little loosen off, but the session hasn't been very, very hard, apart from it being very hot to be there. So we'll see how time goes. Okay? Okay, right, ready? So remember, 70-30, roughly. Make sure we've still got weight on this leg. Matsui and Midori, they still got kicked a lot on the front leg. So if we're like this is going to cut your muscle fast. Okay? Let's go. Ready? Edge. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Up. That's one. Two. Shia. And change legs.
Nice.
Sitting on the left leg now to pick up the better right leg. But don't think that just because your right leg's much better, we put a lot more weight on this back leg. Okay? Still need weight on the front leg to push off the ground. Still need weight off the front leg to deliver the shasaki. Okay? Let's go. Last 10. Ready? Good, good. Okay, right. Let's see if we can grab something. And what we're going to be doing is squatting down and then up. So we're taking a lot of weight on the back leg. If you're one of them people that can do pistol squats, you probably don't need the support. If you're not one of them people that can do pistol squats, take the support. Try and get down as close to 90 degrees as possible. Okay? 5 on the right, 5 on the left. And then Romeo's done. Okay? Right. Ready? Itch. Knee. One. She. Go. Change legs. Of course. Itch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Yasumi, tie yourselves up, get some quick drink. We've got a couple of minutes just to have a little.
Got no more drink left.
Huh?
I've got no more drink left.
Me neither. This is my last sip. It's not enough to quench me.
You still there? Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, man. This means I gotta do it. Shit. Jeez. All right, then. Yeah. And twist the wrist. He's calling me now. Yeah. Yeah. This means I gotta do it.
That's it. Well, it's only a few minutes. My computer's just literally shut down.
I know. We just saw it. We were like in here. I was like, "Oh man, no, I gotta do it." Shit. Well, let me take it, guys. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, will you follow like this?
Yeah.
Cool. All right then. Let me see myself. Good.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. All right then. We've done a lot of legs. Also, let's start off. Grab the right foot all the way down over here. Os, and there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju, and try to bring it outside a little bit more. And there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju, and the other side. And try to go against with it. Oh, there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju. All right, bring your right leg, put your right leg in the front, just in the width of a kokotsudachi. And now keep your legs straight and try to go down to your front leg. Keep this one straight. There we go. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju. Go onto the back leg. Put your toes up to the ceiling and just grab it now. There we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju. All right. One more thing, sorry, two more things. Just bring your left, the front of your feet, bring it all the way down and try to stretch the front of your inside leg. And there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, go, ju. And now we try to stretch the inside. So bring this over there and really drop it low, like a we're doing the number 2 out of the 1 to 4. Os, and there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, and ju. All right. Shake the right leg loose. Inside a few times. And outside a few times. Good. Other leg. Left leg. Grab it. There we go. Are you in now?
Yeah.
Good, good. That's it. If you take away the phone, yeah, that's it. All right, there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, ju, and to the outside. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, ju, and the outside. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, and ju. All right, bring your left leg to the front in the width of the kokotsudachi and keep the legs stretched. There we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, ju, and toes up. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, ju. All right, bring them all the way forward. And try to stretch this over here. And ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, ju. Last one. Bring the inside in. And there we go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sish, ash, gu, and ju. All right. Outside. Ich, ni, san, hantai. Ich, ni, and san. All right. Last thing we do. Hips. Ich, ni, san. 2 really big ones. Ich, ni. Good. And other side. Ich, ni, san. 2 really big ones. And that's 1. Last one. And 2. All right then. Okay, guys. That's it. Another Technical Tuesday gone. Us. Well done. Extremely good work, everyone. And we just hope it was very, very useful for all of you. It seems so basic, but we don't spend nearly enough time on the basics to be very good in like higher grades. Thanks a lot, guys. Really enjoyed it. Well done. Darren, you got something to say?
Yeah, just that you can hopefully now you see the variety of different stances that you do dictate on how you're going to fight, how you're going to throw techniques, and mainly which stance you pick will probably determine which type of fighter you want to be. Now, if you're a Kokotsudachi fighter, most of the time you're going to be a counter-attacking fighter. If you're going to take something like a Sanshindachi, you're probably going to be a little bit more neutral with little steps, going forward, backwards, sideways, very efficient, very stable in a lot of the things you deliver. If you fight in like a Kibidachi stance, it's going to give you more freedom to move around a little bit more. Your stance is a lot wider, it's a lot more 50-50, and you can throw a big variety of techniques. Again, not that you can't in the other forms of fighting, but it also allows you a little bit more freedom in either coming in or out. If you're kind of the 60-40 Zen kind of fighter, then more than likely you're going to enjoy going forward more. You're going to be able to take bigger steps, much like with the Kibidachi style of stances. But obviously, if with the likes of Zen Kutsudachi and Gakotsudachi, if you overcommit either way, you can miss quite a lot. So
Mm.
you have to be really focused on what you're doing in all of them stances, but at least with a 50-50 chance of stance, you've got a really good reaction and that adaptability base. Whereas if you're trying to go forward or backwards a lot, it can work out really badly if you don't have a reasonable skill set. Sanchin Dachi is probably the safest area for most people to start off developing and start throwing techniques, and then you can expand from there to whatever type of fighter or style of fighter you want to be. Okay, but super good work tonight, and please do focus on those elements. They're really important because they will dictate basics, kata, and fighting in one way or another. Okay, super good work.
Add to that, Darren, what he said, to think about what type of fighter you would like to be. Obviously, you always know your strengths. But try to think of all the flaws as well, which are the contra side of the strengths, because that's what a lot of people tend to forget. There's a lot of people that would like to fight like the like the Eastern Europeans, or like the Japanese fighters, the legends like a Matsui and a Midori. But there's a lot of flaws in there as well, and which if you're not aware of these flaws, then you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a very, very bad time there. So please think about that as well, because that's probably even more important. What are the flaws when I do it like this, instead of I'm really strong doing it like this. Darren can only fight that the way he does, and I've always really looked and thought, oh, that's a really good style. But his style, we have similar things, but his style doesn't commit to my body. It doesn't commit to my length. It doesn't commit to my flamboyancy. So I have to use some very good things of him to adapt it into my style. So please, guys, please, if you look at someone, and thank God you've been here a lot with us, but there must be one fighter in on YouTube where you'd be like, I would love to fight like this guy, but please think of the flaws that come into fighting like that guy. He knows. You won't. Thank you, guys.
Well done.
Right. Fantastic session. Sorry, I just interrupted you.
No. That's cool, because he's exactly right. You know, me and Wesley are really lucky. We can throw a lot of different techniques in a lot of different areas, but he's right. You know, I've always focused on getting from A to B as quickly as possible, because I'm not blessed with really long limbs like Wesley is. I know that my limitations is I'm short. Yeah, but I'm also pretty quick, I'm pretty strong, and I've got really good flexibility and technical ability. Wesley is very flamboyant. He can spin in a telephone box and do all kinds of fantastic stuff. He might not be potentially as fast as I am because I've got littler limbs, but Wesley also capitalizes on his 50-50 stance on creating a lot of opportunities for himself by realizing those weaknesses that he's on about in people's fighting styles. And that's how he knocks people out. Yes, he's good. Yes, he creates a lot of opportunities and spaces, but he also pays real good attention to the way that people throw techniques, because he's kind of in that 50-50, 60-40 zone where he doesn't want to necessarily go forward a lot because there's a lot of energy, because he's got long limbs, etc. But he also wants to really knock people out. So he's really smart about having ways that he can do them things. Okay, so please do know what not only the limitations of a certain fighting style is, but your own limitations as well. There's no point in going, well, Midori's faults were that he was on the back leg. If you kick that back leg a lot, he's probably going to, you know, and if you decide to adopt that, yes, you're going to take on that flaw, but maybe you're not as reactive as Midori was in that fighting style. So he actually got out the way really good because he knew that he was small. He knew that every time he was fighting people, it was in an open weight tournament. See, he was clever about his limitations. Realize the limitations of the fighting style and your own, because these two together are a massive success or failure rate. Okay, massive. But we all know our limitations. We're rubbish. If you always think you're bad, you're always going to try better. No, that's just kidding. We're all good. We all have limitations, though, no matter who you are.
Well done, guys.
Excellent work, guys.
Everybody can now unmute themselves, and well, that's it for today. Thanks a lot.
It is. It's shower time, I think.
First, thanks, Eze.
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah. Who needs the cat or queen? Cat.
I know, right? No, it was a bit strange with her not being around after being here for like what, four or so weeks.
I think even a bit more, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Sensei. So I'm going to go and have a beer now.
Well, guys.
Enjoy it,
Make it.
Enjoy it.
Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday we're on.
Take care.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Catch you later, guys. No worries. Hope it was cool down there, John.
It's very 20 degrees in the cellar. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. I'm at 34 now.
No, it's terrible. See you Thursday.
Yeah,
Right.
catch you later, mate.
Bye-bye.
All the best.
Well done, Louise. Thank you.
Thank you. See you Thursday.
Yes, we'll do.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I think you've probably got control now of the recording and stuff.
You haven't then?
No.
I'll stop it and then